So a historic moment now is unfolding today as NASA's Artemis 2 mission pushes new boundaries in space exploration.
Yeah, so this afternoon, the Orion spacecraft will make its closest pass to the moon, closer than any crewed mission in more than 50 years. And for a brief stretch, the crew will lose all contact with mission control as they pass behind the moon. So here to tell us more about this historic journey beyond our world, former astronaut and retired Air Force Colonel Terry Virts. Great to see you this morning. Thank you for taking the time. So what does this moment feel like for you as someone who has been up there, who has seen what they are seeing?
Well, I'm very excited. The first book that I can remember reading was about Apollo when I was a little kid in kindergarten. It was one of those cardboard books with one line per page, and so I've wanted to go to the moon ever since I was a little kid. So what I'm feeling right now is a little bit of jealousy. I wish I was there with them. And I've been able to see amazing things. I mean, looking at our planet, but I haven't seen what they're seeing. I mean, They are right next to the moon now. Later this afternoon, they're actually going to be on the far side of the moon. Humans won't be able to communicate with them, and they won't see Earth at all. And when they look out the window, they will not be able to see Earth, which will be a really cool moon. And they're going so far. Apollo astronauts flew around the far side of the moon, I think 9 different missions, but they're going to be so high up that they're going to be able to see craters that none of the Apollo guys saw. So it's a pretty special moment for all of humanity. There's Americans, obviously, but also a Canadian on board. The Europeans built the service module. So this is a great day for all of humanity.
So, you talked about being fascinated by the moon. I am too. You've been up there. What would you be looking at right now? What would be the thing that, if you were up on that mission right now, that you would be looking for on the moon?
They actually have an experiment where the cameras are going to be taking pictures, but they want to see what the human eyes notice. Because I could tell when I was in space that my eyes saw things differently than the camera chip did. So they're looking for colors. Ironically, when you see the moon from Earth, it's just this kind of gray thing. But there's actually a lot of colors in it. There's a lot of brown. There's even some green and purple and different colors from the different minerals. So I would be looking at that. The sun won't be directly overhead. It'll be on the horizon. It'll be kind of like dawn or dusk on the moon, which means there'll be a lot of shadows. And so that's going to be really cool. These craters, the far side doesn't look like the near side. The far side has tons and tons of craters. I call the moon our offensive lineman. It's out there blocking all the asteroids coming in to Earth. And so it gets bombarded. So there's going to be a lot of shadows on those craters with the moon on the side, if you will. It's going to be just amazing. I wish I was there with them.
And for those that don't know, you're not just an experienced astronaut, you're also pretty famous for taking the most photographs anyone has ever taken in space, 319,000 pictures. So I got to ask, is there one that stands out to you, or maybe one moment that really just is ingrained in your mind?
That's kind of like asking who's your favorite kid. It depends who's been nice to you that day. No, there's one. The northern lights were amazing. The southern light. I love taking aurora pictures, which, by the way, that first picture that they sent back a few days ago of Earth, that wasn't the sun illuminating Earth. That was the moon illuminating Earth. And you can actually see the northern lights and southern lights a little bit in the corner of Earth. But the last picture I took in space, I took this kind of wide angle, very small aperture picture, and you can see the sun has this starburst look and the Earth is this round ball down there. That was probably my favorite.
I got to ask you one more question. So, you're up there. There's only a certain number of windows. Are you fighting for time so you get to look through? How's that even work?
Well, on the space station, which is it's like a 747, there's lots of room. We have this module called the cupola that I helped install on my first mission. You have time to go down there and look through it. In Orion, if you notice the pictures of these Artemis astronauts, they're always all in the frame, which means it's not that big of an area. So, they actually have to, all right, let me take a look. So as they go around the moon, they're going to be competing for window time. So there's not a lot of room in this capsule. I explain it as it's kind of like the size of your spare bathroom. It's not your master bathroom, it's your spare bathroom, and there's 4 people in there. So but that's okay. They can put up with it for 10 days. I'm sure they'll be and they're 4 great people. I know all of them. So they're having a great time.
Yeah, tight quarters, but totally worth it. Terry Virts, thank you so much for taking the time this morning.
Thanks for having me on.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.